everyone, welcome back to Marketing 100. I'm Kayle, your salon and spa business bestie, and I'm joined today, as always, by my good friend and the founder of the Salon Business, John Halberg. And today, we've got an extra special guest, back again for the third time, killing it as usual, our good friend Marchelle Mooney. Marchelle, thanks so much for coming back and hanging out with us again. How are you?
Good. Thanks, John. Thanks, Kayle, for having me back.
Hey, Marchelle.
What are you dropping on us today, Marchelle? Let's hear it.
I am dropping on you something that is often recommended, and I'm here to tell you that I will never recommend doing this, and that is events.
Really? No events, huh?
There's always this idea of you should have events and you should have them for your members. And then there's also this idea of strategic partnerships. It's another recommendation. I spent 8 years feeling like a failure because I could not crack the event code. And today, I think I know why.
This is an extra spicy take because, John, I think you and I, we've talked about events before. We've talked about partnerships. There are many potential benefits.
For sure, there are benefits. But even just talking about events, my palms get sweaty. I don't want to do it. And when I think about the events that I have had, the ones I can remember because I didn't have too much wine were, just not authentic. Like I didn't enjoy being there with this idea that I had to sell, my leaders, my shampoo and conditioner leaders at 50% or whatever the thing was. I know how to talk to people. I know how to people, especially when I was working behind the chair. One of my strong suits was consultation. Where I wasn't comfortable was at the end of a long day, setting up and having this 3 to 4 hour event because I'm an introvert. Being in that type of environment where you're looking for intimate moments one-on-one within the event space was so draining to me and felt like I couldn't make an effect that I turned to doing things like webinars. In 2020, when I had my salon, I would have these happy hours and I would literally just sit there on Instagram and people could chime in their questions and I could just riff on them. Somebody might have a question and be like, oh, this product would be great for you. And I'd be shipping them product from my Instagram lives. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm never doing an event again. This is my type of event. Think about your personality type. Are you naturally an introvert? If so, that it's totally okay to just stop trying to have the event. That said, one of my most successful referral channels was a partnership with my dentist.
What?
Yeah, where are we heading?
I found a dentist who, the way that he thought about dentistry was very much how I thought about what I do, where it doesn't matter what you're doing, you're going to get a thorough consultation. He was asking me questions no dentist had ever asked me. Things like, scale of 1 to 10. How do you feel today coming and sitting in my chair? He was consulting with me in this way to set himself up for success. If I have to drill in your face, I definitely want to know how you're feeling today. Another thing I noticed about him, it was a father-son clinic. They had matching Jeeps, and one of them had a license plate that said incisor, and the other one had a license plate that said molar. And I, that day, went and ordered my custom license plate for my salon that I owned at the time. This is so dorky, but I'm telling you to say, I recognized very quickly that these people were obsessed with what they do. And they were obsessed with making sure that any person who went there was also obsessed. And that doesn't happen with your dentist. So my mind went, I'm going to make this beautiful little referral card. And it's going to be custom to their business. So it's going to have their logo on it in my brand colors, my logo on it. And it's going to be a complimentary haircut, full service. And at the time I was charging $100 for my haircut. And I'm giving this to them and I'm going to train them on who to give it to. And I literally taught all of their technicians, but I also gave them complimentary haircuts. It wasn't just an ask. It was like, hey, you do things in such a way that makes so much sense to me. I want more clients that appreciate this thing that you do because I do that too for my business. And so I gave all of their dental hygienists free haircuts. And The only thing I asked for in exchange is that based on that person that I thought of, and I just had a Pinterest board and was like, showed it to them while I was sitting there, give them this card. And you know how at your dentist, they always give you that stupid bag with like toothpaste, some floss, a crappy toothbrush. They just slipped it in there. And we had our highest conversions from that partnership than we did on any other. And the most beautiful thing was we had high retention from that partnership. And so that is why I personally will value a truly strategic partnership over an event any day.
It's really coming down to like alignment between things, right? At the first stage, it's like alignment with yourself, but then finding alignment with the business that you work with. Are they working in a similar way? Are they meeting a similar type of client as you are?
I would never think to partner with a dentist, but you saw something, Marchelle, that you realized there was an alignment there with your like core values. I think a lot of people might off the bat be like, oh no, like I'm giving away free services. Like that's going to cut into my time that I can book. It's going to cut into the money I'm making. I'm going to be, putting all my labor into this and not reaping money from it right away. Missing the point that like what you're actually getting there is a higher tier of clientele that you're taking a hit on up front to get in the chair, but are likely going to pay far more down the line in terms of like lifetime value of that clientele.
The barrier to overcome, getting someone to break up with their stylist to come to your business is so great that alignment has to be there. If the place you're partnering with runs a special every 8 weeks and people bank on that being their point of entry for those services, and you don't run any specials, you're probably not going to have alignment with the customer that comes over from there. Now, if you both kind of operate from that promotion discount mentality, there could definitely be alignment. But if it doesn't work, those are some of the things I might consider. And I think the same would go for an event as well. My whole being, when somebody mentions planning an event, I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like event planning. I do love strategic thinking. And I love the idea of like figuring out a partnership.
You can't put your energy into the things that make you feel like you want to die. Like if just thinking about it gives you anxiety and it's an awful feeling, then it's probably not the right initiative for you. And that's fine. Not every single tip on here is going to be for you. We've talked about events being a positive thing in previous episodes. Everything's different for different people.
If you listen to each thing that every coach, every marketer, everyone tells you to do, you end up with this invisible to-do list of all of these things you think you're supposed to do to make your business great. And that holds room. The game is how quickly can you shut down and turn off the ones that you just know intuitively are not going to serve you and move on to the ones that will and the ones that have.
I think it requires a level of like self-awareness and self-trust as well, especially if you're like starting out and you've just opened up. It's very natural that you start looking at, okay, what are other businesses doing? Like they seem to be great on their Instagram, or they are doing events every Tuesday. And it's kind of easy to like assume, oh, I should also be doing events every Tuesday or whatever. So I think it requires a bit of like self-awareness of like, what am I really good at? And then the trust element to actually trust yourself. Like, actually, I can say no to that. I don't need to do that. There's actually 100 other ways that John and Kayle and Marchelle have talked about that we could be doing this instead.
All right, everybody, that's what we've got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Marketing 100. We are here to bring you 100 snackable tactical marketing tips. So if you want more great marketing tips like these are Biscuit's favorite tips, as a matter of fact, then get subscribed to Marketing 100 here on YouTube. If you want to read even more and get more in depth with the topics we talk about, you can check out full articles with links, stats, all kinds of stuff over on the salonbusiness.com. And if you want to check out our top pick for the best salon and spa software of 2025, you can get an extra 30 days free. They give you 30 days. You get 30 days more for free on us. It's 2 months free of Mango Mint. Click the link in the description. You'll thank us later. Marchelle, thank you so much for joining us yet again. Biscuit loved having you on the show, and he wanted to thank you personally. That's why he's here with me right now.
Thank you both. And Biscuit, thank you for the foot up. I appreciate that.
All right, everybody. Thanks again for tuning into another episode of Marketing 100. We'll see you in the next episode.